the dead of night, under a sky ripped open by lightning, Leo bolted through the fog-shrouded forest, his heart pounding like a war drum. Branches clawed at his face, roots snagged his boots, but he couldn't stop. Behind him, the beast was closing in. It wasn't just any predator. This one had hunted him for years, its growls echoing his deepest regrets, its presence a colossal, swirling manifestation of thick, dark dust and shadow. One wrong step, and it would drag him back into the abyss. Sweat stung his eyes as he leaped over a fallen log, the ground trembling under the beast's thunderous pursuit. Freedom was just ahead, a glowing clearing, but could he outrun what had always been one step behind? Leo collapsed at the edge of the clearing, gasping for air, his body screaming in protest. The beast's low, cold rumble faded for a moment, giving him a fragile pause. He leaned against an ancient oak tree, its bark rough like the scars on his soul. Here, in this quiet breath between chaos, he closed his eyes and whispered to himself. To you, perhaps, if you're listening. You know that weight, don't you? That invisible chain of yesterday's failures, the pain that whispers, you're not enough, every time you try to rise. It's the missed chances, the broken promises, the nights you replayed what went wrong until dawn. But what if holding on isn't strength? It's the very thing pulling you under. In that stillness, Leo felt a truth stir. The past isn't a teacher if you let it become your jailer. It's a shadow, real only as long as you feed it with your fear. As the beast lunged from the darkness, its vast, churning form finally clear under the moonlight, twisted, heavy, with two distant blue lights that mirrored his own eyes. Leo froze. This wasn't some monster from the wild. It was him. The regrets of his failed marriage, the business that crumbled under his watch, the dreams he buried alive. They had shaped this creature, born from his refusal to let go. In a heartbeat, the plot twisted. Instead of running, Leo turned and faced it. No more, he said, voice steady for the first time. He reached out, not to fight, but to embrace the shadow, feeling its cold grip melt into warmth. As it dissolved into mist, the forest brightened, revealing a path he'd never seen before, one lined with blooming flowers where thorns once grew. The path ahead shimmered like liquid gold, but Leo hesitated. 1 foot in the new world, one still tangled in the fading mist. A single thorn, black, sharp, familiar, lay on the ground. He bent to pick it up. It pricked his finger. A tiny bead of bright red blood welled, and with it came a flash. His father's disappointed eyes the day the business collapsed. His wife's quiet goodbye. The empty crib he'd built for a child who never came. The thorn pulsed, whispering, "Take me with you. You'll need proof you survived." He almost did. Then he saw it. The thorn wasn't alone. Hundreds more lay scattered behind him, each one a moment he'd carried like a medal of honor. Proof of endurance, proof of pain, proof he was real. He knelt, gathered a handful, and pressed them to his chest. The thorns instantly dissolved into invasive, swirling tendrils of the beast's black smoke that rapidly spread across his white shirt, temporarily staining it and threatening to choke him with the heavy, cold darkness. The old weight returned, heavier now, because it had a name, identity. A soft wind stirred. From the blooming path stepped a child, barefoot, eyes bright as sunrise. She couldn't have been more than 7. She looked at the thorns, then at him. "Why are you hugging knives?" she asked. Leo opened his mouth, but no excuse came. The child reached out, took the thorns from his staining hands, and tossed them into the air. They burst into butterflies, black wings edged with silver, and flew away. Where they landed, new flowers bloomed instantly. "You don't need scars to remember you're alive," she said. "You need open hands to hold tomorrow." She turned and skipped ahead. Leo followed, palms still stinging, but empty. Each step felt strange, like learning to walk again after years in chains. Halfway down the path, he glanced back. The forest was gone. In its place stood a mirror lake, perfectly still. His reflection stared up. No scars, just eyes wide with wonder. He smiled. The reflection smiled back, then winked, as if to say, "Took you long enough." At the lake's edge lay a single white stone. Words were carved into it, glowing faintly. "The past is a story you tell. Tell a new one." Leo picked up the stone. It was warm, light as a promise. He slipped it into his pocket, not to carry the weight, but to remember the choice. And now, wherever you are, yes, you, reading this with yesterday still stuck to your skin, feel that pocket. Is there a stone there? A thorn? A memory you've mistaken for armor? Take it out, hold it to the light. It's smaller than you think. Now set it down. Not in anger, not in shame, just release. Yesterday's pain is not your destiny. It's the forge that tempers your tomorrow. Release it and rise. The greatest victory is not in forgetting the past, but in refusing to let it chain your future. The path is waiting. Your hands are free. Run.